Little Red Riding Hood.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl whose name was Little Red Riding Hood. Everyone loved her, but her grandmother loved her most of all. The grandmother made a red hood for her, and that is how Little Red Riding Hood got her name. One day, Little Red Riding Hood went to see her grandmother. As she walked through the forest, she met Mr. Wolf.
"Good morning, little girl,"
he said.
"Where are you going on this fine day?"
"I'm going to see my grandmother," Little Red Riding Hood said. "I'm taking her some cakes."
"That's very interesting,"
Mr. Wolf said, and ran off towards Red Riding Hood's grandmother's house. He came to her house and knocked on the door. The old lady opened the door. Immediately, Mr. Wolf ran into the house and ate the old lady. Then he put on her clothes and got into her bed. Soon Little Red Riding Hood came to her grandmother's house and knocked on the door. "Hello, Granny," she called out. "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood." Little Red Riding Hood went into her grandmother's house. She thought she saw her grandmother lying in bed, so she went up to her.
"I can eat you better with a big mouth,"
Mr. Wolf said, and he jumped out of bed and swallowed Little Red Riding Hood. Then he lay down and went to sleep. As he slept, he snored loudly. Soon, a woodcutter came to the cottage. He heard snoring, so he opened the door and looked inside. He saw Mr. Wolf asleep on the bed. The woodcutter cut open Mr. Wolf. Immediately, Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother jumped out of the wolf's belly. The woodcutter filled Mr. Wolf's belly with stones. Then Little Red Riding Hood, her grandmother, and the woodcutter sat down together and ate the cakes.